Hello, my little llamas, and welcome to Weird and Dark History. I'm your host, your favorite little llama, Lexi. Today, we plunge into the chilling abyss of history, exploring 10 female serial killers. When we speak of serial killers, the likelihood is that your mind conjures images of sinister men. However, it may surprise you to learn that women, too, can be just as cold-blooded. Throughout history, there have been numerous women who've committed heinous acts, their stories often buried under the weight of their male counterparts. Their crimes are no less horrifying, their motives no less chilling. Today, we tear away the veil of obscurity, shedding light on these dark tales that have been, for too long, hidden in the shadows of history. So brace yourselves as we embark on this journey, starting with the earliest known female serial killer. The path may be unsettling, but it's a path we must tread to truly understand the depths of human nature. Our journey begins in ancient Rome with a woman named Locusta, infamous for her deadly potions. Born in the 1st century, Locusta was a master of toxicology, using her knowledge to concoct lethal brews. Her notorious reputation caught the attention of the Roman elite, who hired her to eliminate their enemies, thus igniting her killing spree. Locusta's crimes weren't just isolated incidents, but rather a series of calculated assassinations that shook the very foundation of the Roman society. Despite her high connections, Locusta could not evade justice forever. Eventually, her dark deeds caught up with her, leading to her execution under Emperor Galba in the year 69. Her story, as chilling as it is, offers a glimpse into the twisted world of power and poison. It paints a picture of a woman who turned her knowledge into a deadly weapon, leveraging it for her personal gain and the sinister desires of others. Locusta's tale sets a grim precedent, but our journey into the shadows is only just beginning. We now travel to the late 16th century, to the chilling tale of Countess Elizabeth Bathory, also known as the Blood Countess. Born into Hungarian nobility, Bathory's life was a tale of power and privilege. Yet, behind the opulence, a gruesome story unfolds. She's believed to have tortured and killed hundreds of young girls. The details of her crimes are as horrific as they are numerous, involving unspeakable acts of violence. The legend surrounding Bathory is as fascinating as it is grotesque. It's said that she bathed in the blood of her victims, believing it would maintain her youth and beauty. This grim ritual earned her the title, the Blood Countess. After years of these heinous acts, Bathory was eventually confined to her castle, where she spent her remaining days in solitary confinement. Elizabeth Bathory's tale is one of horror and vanity, but our next killer takes us into a new, sinister direction. Fast forward to the 19th century, meet Amelia Dyer, the infamous baby farmer. Born in England in 1837, Dyer's life was steeped in tragedy from the start, but it was her chilling crimes that truly set her apart. Desperate parents, unable to care for their infants, would pay Dyer to adopt their babies, hoping for a better life for their little ones. Little did they know the unimaginable fate that awaited their children. You see, Dyer had a sinister plan. She'd pocket the money, then, in an act of unspeakable cruelty, she'd murder the infants. The sheer number of her victims remains unknown, but estimates suggest it could be hundreds. Her wicked deeds eventually caught up with her, and she was hanged in 1896. Amelia Dyer's tale is one of heartbreak and horror, but our next killer brings a different kind of terror. Now, let's delve into the life of Jane Toppin, a nurse with a dark secret. Born Honora Kelly, she was later adopted and renamed Jane Toppin. Known for her jovial demeanor, none suspected the sinister intentions behind her warm smile. As a trusted nurse, she had easy access to her victims, primarily her patients. Her method of choice? A lethal cocktail of drugs, which she administered under the guise of routine medical care. Toppin's reign of terror ended when the Davis family, 4 of whom she had killed, ordered a toxicology report. The findings led to her arrest, and she was confined in a mental institution. During her trial, Toppin confessed to deriving a perverse pleasure from ending lives, a confession that sent chills down the spine of even the most seasoned investigators. Jane Toppin's tale is disturbing, but our journey into the world of female serial killers is far from over. Next, we encounter Nanny Doss, the giggling granny with a murderous streak. Born in Alabama in the early 20th century, Doss's life was marked by tragedy, loss, and a series of suspicious deaths that followed her like a shadow. 4 of her 5 husbands, 2 children, her mother, her sister, and even her grandson fell victim to her deadly touch. Yet it wasn't her family's ill-fated destiny that earned her the title of Giggling Granny. It was her eerily cheerful demeanor, her constant laughter and smiles, even as she confessed to her heinous crimes. In 1955, Doss was finally apprehended and sentenced to life imprisonment. She spent the remainder of her days in an Oklahoma State penitentiary, where her laughter echoed through the halls until her death in 1965. Nanny Doss's tale is one of treachery hidden behind a smile, setting a chilling stage for our next killer. Let's delve into the life of Betty Newmar, the Black Widow with a penchant for life insurance policies. Born in 1931, Betty was married 5 times and each of her husbands met untimely ends. From gunshot wounds to supposed suicides, Betty's husbands had a knack for dying under suspicious circumstances. Coincidentally, each death was followed by a hefty life insurance payout, which Betty was all too eager to collect. Despite the repeated pattern, law enforcement struggled to pin anything on Betty. It wasn't until 2008, nearly 50 years after her first husband's death, that she was finally arrested. However, the case was riddled with holes due to lack of physical evidence and the passing of so many years. Betty Newmar passed away in 2011, leaving behind a trail of questions and the haunting possibility of her guilt. Betty Newmar's tale is one of mystery and suspicion, but our next killer's crimes are all too clear. We now explore the life of Beverly Allett, the angel of death in a children's ward. Born in England, Allett was a nurse who betrayed the trust of her patients in the most horrifying way. Her victims were all children, innocent souls under her care. Over a span of a few months, she committed unthinkable acts, causing harm to 13 children and resulting in the deaths of 4. Allett used her position of trust and authority to commit her heinous crimes, injecting her patients with lethal doses of insulin or air bubbles, causing cardiac arrest. Her actions were driven by a desire for attention and recognition, a psychological condition known as Munchausen syndrome by proxy. In 1993, Allett was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment, her dreadful deeds bringing about a dark shadow on the nursing profession. Beverly Allett's tale is one of terror and betrayal, but our journey isn't over yet. And next, we delve into the lives of Gwendolyn Graham and Kathy Wood, lovers with a lethal pact. Graham and Wood were both nursing home employees in Michigan during the mid-'80s. They formed a romantic relationship that eventually mutated into a horrifying bond of death. Their victims were elderly residents under their care. They would suffocate them, choosing those they believed wouldn't be missed. Their pact was a chilling manifestation of their twisted love, with each murder serving as a perverse symbol of their commitment to each other. It was only after their relationship ended that Wood confessed to their crimes. Graham received a life sentence without parole, while Wood, the self-proclaimed mastermind, got 20 to 40 years for second-degree murder and conspiracy. Their positions of trust and power allowed them to commit these heinous acts, making their story a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unsuspecting places. Graham and Wood's tale is one of love twisted into horror, but our final tale is perhaps the most chilling. Finally, we delve into the life of Melissa Ann Shepard, the Internet Black Widow. Born in 1935 in Burnt Church, New Brunswick, Melissa was a seemingly ordinary woman with a dark secret. She had a knack for ensnaring elderly men through the web, marrying them, and then poisoning them for their money. Her crimes spanned over 2 decades, leading to numerous convictions. Each time she found a new victim, she would change her identity, making it harder for authorities to track her. Her victims were often lonely, elderly men who she would meet on dating websites. She'd charm them with her sweet demeanor, marry them, and then slowly poison them with prescription drugs. Melissa's cunning and adaptability are chilling. She weaponized the internet, an everyday tool, turning it into her personal hunting ground. Her story serves as a stark reminder of the hidden dangers lurking in our increasingly connected world. Melissa Ann Shepard's tale brings us to the present, marking the end of our journey through history's darkest corners. And so, my little llamas, we reach the end of our dark journey through history. We've traversed time and space to uncover the chilling stories of 10 women, each leaving a mark on history with their terrifying deeds. From Locusta's poisonous potions in ancient Rome to Elizabeth Bathory's blood-soaked reign in the 16th century, our journey has spanned centuries. We've met Amelia Dyer, Jane Toppin, Nanny Doss, Betty Newmar, Beverly Allett, Gwendolyn Graham, Kathy Wood, and finally, Melissa Ann Shepard, each with their own disturbing narrative. These stories serve as a stark reminder of the diversity and horror of crimes that have been committed, not just by men, but by women too. It's a chilling testament to the darkness that can reside within the human soul. We encourage you to delve deeper, to research further, and above all, to stay safe. Thanks for joining me on this chilling journey. If you enjoyed our video, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to pet that bell icon to give a llama corn its wings. Until next time, bye-bye my little butterflies.